Hello everybody, what is going on? Mudkip Rocket Ship 3003, back with more Let's Play Pokemon Sapphire. This is episode 2 now, and I just want to start off saying that this is going to be an Uber run. Now, what is an Uber run? Well, I don't even know because I literally just made that up. Well, basically what I'm going to be doing in this Let's Play is I'm going to be just going through the whole game, taking, like, my starter, which is Mudkip me, and just going through the whole game, and, like, always having him in the party, and just never evolving him. And obviously, in the first few stages, this is very easy. It's like, well, whatever, he's not evolving anyways. But as you'll see later in this game, the struggle becomes real. Also, if you notice that jumpy edit just a moment ago, it means that we skipped a wild battle. It wasn't jumpy for the video, it was jumpy for the audio. But, yeah, if you notice one of those jumpy edits, it means that it was unimportant, and I didn't really care if you saw what happened there. And really the only thing I ever fast forward through is, like, just like trainer battles, it's like, that just kind of drag on, or, but anyways, yeah, so, like I was saying, I'm just going to be going through this entire game, not evolving, because this is the kind of run I want, because I wanted to be able to challenge myself. I didn't want to have to say, oh, well, of course, like, this game is just, like, whatever, like, I know it like the back of my hand. Of course, it's going to be a very easy run, but I'm going to just kick it up a notch. I'm going to have to go ahead and say, you know what, I like this game, so I'm going to give myself a challenge with it. I don't want to have to say, oh, well, it's just this boring old game again. No, I want to still love this game, because this is the game that I grew up with. This game... and I'm sure lots of you other people out there watching probably, like, if you're in the more or less the same age group as me, then you probably grew up with this too. This is just one of those games, it just takes you back. But anyways, yeah, so that's basically what I'm going to be doing throughout this video. And, speaking of being taken back and all the nostalgia, that hype train going on about Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, that's coming out soon, at least when I'm recording this anyways. If you're watching this in the future, then you'll probably be saying, oh, that game came out a while back, but no, when I'm recording this anyways, and if you're watching this soon after I upload it, then you'll be like, oh yeah, that game's coming out soon. Yeah, right there, I just skipped ahead to the important part of the wild battle, catching one of our party members. Anyways, but yeah, that game's coming out, and I've seen some of the trailers for it. They are amazing. Like, there's just like this one clip that they have where it's like, you see Groudon, and Kyogre, like, they're like separate scenes actually, but like, you see them just rise out of the ground, and like, just the sunlight suddenly turns really harsh, or the rain starts pouring down. It's just, I don't know, just something about that scene is just like, it speaks to me. I don't really know how else to describe that, but just like, I don't know. I think it's kind of like the same thing, well, actually no, not the same thing, well, just the fact that it says, like, a very clear message, even though nothing was said, the same, in a similar way that in the new, or one of the new videos for the Smash Brothers game that's coming out, you had, like, a red streak, and it's like whatever other character, and then it's a blue streak or a green streak, and then it's Link, and then yellow streak, and then it turns into a circle, and it just, it means so much, yet so little at the same time. I mean, like, for those of you that are actually excited about Pac-Man being in the game, this isn't meant to be like, oh, like, Pac-Man sucks, or why are you so excited about that? That's not what this is at all. It's just like, just something about the sound is kind of underwhelming for, like, how intense the game is supposed to be. Like, yes, like, the sound does send the very clear message of Pac-Man's in the game, and, like, that's just it. But, like, just, you kind of want it to be like, I I don't know how to explain it, but I hope you guys understand that it, like, you just kind of want something more, I guess, and that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not even sure what I'm trying to say at this point, actually, but it just felt a little underwhelming, while at the same time just kind of like, oh. Yeah, it's just that moment of, oh. But anyways, yeah, that's... But anyways, so that long tangent was supposed to be a comparison to how when Kyogre rises out of the water and rains down, or Groudon rises out of the water and shines on, just that moment, like when you hear and see that, it's just that moment of, oh, that scene, and it just. The trailer was beautifully done. I'm also really glad that, like, when I was, like, actually listening closely, I could, like, hear, like, the redone music that they did. Oh, it was beautiful. I was worrying that they would kind of, like, kill the song in the remix, for me anyways, because I'm not saying that the remixes were bad in, like, any of the remakes that they've done so far. I'm just saying that the song in particular that I'm thinking of is in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Yeah, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. When you hear the Goldenrod City theme, like, it doesn't sound like the original. I mean, like, yeah, the melody's there, the notes are there, but, like, just the rhythms, like, it doesn't feel like Goldenrod City anymore. It just feels like, I don't even know. And I'm not trying to say, like, it's, oh, this song, the new song is just bad, for those of you that actually, like, really listen to the background music of games and, like, really enjoy it. And this isn't meant to be like, oh, like, I just hate that remix. No, I'm just saying, like, it just didn't feel the same. But anyways, so what this is all, yeah, I rewind through this part because I didn't really feel like this video taking too long. Anyways, so just the fact that, like, in this new remake that they did of Ruby and Sapphire, and, like, they, like, have the music, you can hear it, and it sounds like the original. Not like obviously, like, different instrumentation, different, like, whatever, it's, like, better audio quality, whatever. Just the fact that it, like, it has the essence of the original is just, oh, the level of nostalgia. I think that's what I'm trying to go for, is that, like, whereas like, in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the remix of Goldenrod City kinda didn't really have the same feel, the same essence as the original Goldenrod City theme. And it was just kind of missing that extra little bit of nostalgia effect to it, I guess. But anyways, so yeah, again, I'm gonna make the disclaimer that I'm not trying to slam that game, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I'm not trying to slam the remix that they did with that. It's just, like, just that one tiny nitpick I had with it. I mean, like, because, like, with anything, like, you gotta have that one tiny nitpick. I mean, like, obviously there's gonna be some things that you're just gonna be like, oh, this is perfect, I have no complaints. Obviously there's gonna be those things, but with, like, just about, well, really anything in life, you always have that one thing that you say to yourself, ah, man, I would have done that differently, or I would have kept this more to the original. I would have done this. And, like, it's not, and, like, you think to yourself, well, I'm hoping you think to yourself, it's not meant to slam, like, the person's work, because, I mean, like, I'm sure they worked very hard. I'm sure the developers of Heart Gold and Soul Silver worked very hard on making a nice remake, like, complete with, like, well remade songs and everything. But you always have that thought in your mind, like, it's not, okay, to be fair, it's not bad, but it's just not what I was expecting. But you always just have that little bit of, you know, just that sigh of, man, come on, like, just, not like, I don't want to call it disappointment, because that word tends to be like used in the context of you suck. Nothing personal, but you suck. And that's not what this is supposed to be. I'm trying to make it. I don't know how clear I am about this, but really, it's all supposed to be about being as nice as possible about breaking the truth to them. It's not really like, oh, you suck. It's just, I don't know. That's just a bit of a rant that I wanted to get off my chest right now. But anyways, so in case you were wondering why I said that Zigzagoon was gonna be part of the team that I take to the Elite Four, like, if you're wondering why I said that I would be taking him to the Elite Four, I'll give you a couple reasons. One is because, like, it's not intended to be anything like, oh, this Pokemon just sucks. Like, it's just, I don't know why, but I've always used him as, like, my buffer, I guess you could call it. Like, if ever, like, I have, like, a situation in the Elite Four where I'm like, oh man, it's their last Pokemon, but I'm so low on health and I need to heal, and I don't want to spend that turn healing on him, because then they're just gonna take it all the way back down to red health, but I know I'm fast enough and blah blah blah, you know, just one of those situations. Then you're like, wait, no, I don't have to freak out. I'll just swap out to this Pokemon that's my buffer, my tank, or whatever. Swap him out, use his starting turn to heal that guy, and if he gets wrecked in one hit, then I can just switch back over to the other guy that I wanted to finish off with anyways, and just done. And then later you can just revive him, if you have revives anyways. But yeah, that's usually what I end up using, well, who ends up evolving into Linoon. That's usually what I end up using Zigzagoon for, is kind of my buffer. And sorry to all the Zigzagoon fans out there, sorry to all the Linoon fans out there, it's not really, like, I do try to make as good use of him as possible as far as, like, actually battling goes, but, yeah, it's just, I don't try to, but that's just how it ends up happening. I don't know if anyone else knows that feeling. I'm sure everyone has at least some of those moments where you don't intend for something bad to happen, and it's not necessarily bad for you, so, like, you just kind of have that, like, oh, well, I mean, if this does happen, it doesn't really matter that much, because it's not anything bad happening to me. So you kind of think, oh, well, I mean, to everyone who is affected by this, I'm sorry, but I wish I could show a little more genuine concern for your interests. I'm sure everyone has one of those moments, or at least something similar anyways, where, like, you have to choose between, do you really want to try that hard for, like, not that much payout, whereas, like, you could just, like, make things, like, easier, faster, and just generally, like, okay, I don't have to go full try hard here, or are you just gonna be, like, and, like, for, like, all of that, but just trade off, like, okay, some people are gonna get, well, possibly a little butthurt, I don't know, but, anyways, this trainer battle right here is the one that I was talking about, actually. The one that I have to fast forward through most of it. I actually take advantage of this battle to do as much training as I can on Ziggy, I called him. And actually, Ziggy is the name that I've always given the Zigzagoon, because I've actually played through this game many times. Like, it's just one of those games I just love coming back to and just starting over, starting fresh, and seeing how it goes this time. Seeing if I can maybe challenge myself to something else this time around, or whatever. But yeah, I always have a Zigzagoon, and I always name him Ziggy, That's just what I've always done. Because I remember when I was first playing through this game, I remember like I was actually playing through with like my sister, watching like over my shoulder, and she'd always be like, ooh, catch that one. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And although I hadn't originally intended to catch it, I was just like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna go through the game. I thought, okay, well, I'm not gonna be a jerk to her. I'm just gonna like catch it. So I'd catch it, and I was like, okay, what should we name it? And she chose the name. Oh, you should call it Ziggy since it's called Zigzagoon. And I was like, okay. So I did that, and like I had seen like how much she thought like, oh, that's a neat Pokemon, and so I thought, okay, well, I may as well train this little guy a little bit, just so that it's not like, oh, well, screw your crap. No, I didn't want to do any of that. I didn't want to come off as rude to her. So I trained it, and ended up being a fairly valuable asset later, because Zigzagoon does have the ability to pick up, and sometimes he'll pick up some very, very useful items along the way. So yeah, that is one of the things that I do really enjoy about keeping Zigzagoon in the team, and Linoon, of course, once he evolves. Yeah. And if you're wondering, like, oh, why even bother evolving him? Well, because then he can't learn strength if I just keep him as a Zigzagoon. I have to evolve him into Linoon for him to learn strength. Anyways, just really quick, I want to make a note that I caught this Shroomish here, and I named it Metal Sea Toad. It's supposed to be Metallic Toad. It's supposed to be my friend here. I just go ahead and show it off there, but that he's like in this gameplay, anyways. Because I asked him, okay, well, what Pokemon would you choose to be represented by? And he's like, I guess Lucario. And I was like, oh, well, I'm doing a Let's Play of Pokemon Sapphire. And he's like, oh, well, I guess Breloom's pretty good. And I was like, okay, I guess that's kind of fitting since it kind of looks like Toad a little bit because of the Mushroom Hat, and fighting type is pretty good, I guess. And it's good because Breloom is actually a very good choice. My friend Metallic Toad has very good taste in Pokemon. Lucario, very good choice to have in competitive battles. Breloom, also a not too bad choice. Well, except for the fact that he gets wrecked by flying types, but you just don't make him fight flying types. Anyways, but yeah, so this guy using Sand Attack, Slash Attack, my brain is, I don't know. Sand Attack actually makes me miss a tackle, and I miss another tackle here, and so I just decided to cut straight to the part where I actually defeat it. I was like, screw it, may as well. Anyways, so yeah. So I jumped through a little bit more of the text and stuff just because I was like, I don't really want to have this video run too long. Anyways, so like I was saying, that was a kind of a long tangent. Anyways, so like I was saying, some pretty good choices to have on our team, Zigzagoon and consequently Linoon, because pickup ability is quite useful. It's quite useful because sometimes, like, he'll even pick up like a rare candy, or he'll pick up like an Ultra Ball or something, and it's very, very good finds. Very good finds. Usually he'll pick up like a Super Potion or I don't know what else he'll pick up, a Pokeball maybe. But I mean, it's all useful. It's all good stuff. I mean, the less we have to spend money on these supplies, the better. So, yeah, as I'll be trying to keep him in my party throughout the entire gameplay, and if not, if I have to switch to another Pokemon for like a gym battle or something, I'll probably do that. But for the most part, I'll be trying to keep him in the party just so that I can get as much stuff from him as I can. Anyways, so we get the Whalmer Pail, even though we won't really use it because if you saw in the last video, it said that the game cartridge, the internal battery ran dry, and so what that basically means is there's no more time-based events. For those of you that didn't see last episode, that's what happened. And I guess just a brief explanation for those of you that didn't watch the last episode and don't know. Basically, it just means that like no time-based events will happen, meaning tide won't go in and out, and I think leveling up at the daycare won't happen. I think it's just breeding that's step-based. I'm pretty sure. But then, yeah, I think it's leveling up that's time-based. It's leveling up that's time-based. But yeah, we won't be needing to use the daycare too much, because we'll be doing a bit of training. Anyways, yeah, so really, like, there's not a whole lot of things that are really important that are time-based. The only thing that's a little bit annoying is berries don't grow. Like, you can plant one, but it'll just stay there forever. That's one of the key things that's time-based is berry growth. And that's a little bit annoying, because usually what I like to do is I like to put down as many orange berries as I can in like all of the plantable areas. The loamy soil, I believe they call it, or soft soil. But then like it says, oh, the soft soil returned to its, or the soil returned to its soft and loamy state. I think that's what it says when you pick a berry. Anyways, but usually what I like to do is I like to put down as many orange berries as I can to have them grow, and then later on in the game reap the harvest. That way I can have some extra free healing, and it's usually a good idea to have, just so that you don't have to use as many like potions and whatnot. Anyways, yeah, so, I believe this was a tangent going away from something else I was talking about. Just more forgetful moments. There's lots of things I can't remember. That's probably why I didn't do so well in my history classes, but, well, that's okay. Anywho, yeah, so, oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Yeah, so, one thing that, I did end up missing, like, early on in the gameplay anyways, is not, like, I end up going back for it. Like, I don't just completely miss it. Like, I go back for this TM that this kid gives you. He was standing next to those plants outside of the flower shop that we went inside. That kid out there gives you a TM, which is for bullet seed. And I find that, well, at least in early gameplay anyways, bullet seed is a very, very useful move to have, at least for Shroomish anyways, because when you have the choice between absorb, yeah, I fast forward through this. when you have the choice between absorb and bullet seed, usually for tougher opponents anyways, absorb ends up doing about the same damage as much as one hit of bullet seed, or at least two anyways. And so you usually end up being better off with bullet seed, because then it could do 3 hits, and then you'll be able to do just that little bit more amount of damage. And sure, absorb heals you, but if it's just one of those enemies that he doesn't do much damage to you and you're not doing much damage to him, it's nice to be able to just hurry up and get him out of the way. And right there, I got quite a lot of experience points on Tay-Tay. That's another name that a long time ago my sister wanted to give Taylo. And yeah, this is when we were I was, I don't know, I want to say maybe 7, 8. Because, okay, yeah, you gotta do the reverse math. If you're 17 when you're in 12th grade, that's 5 years apart. So to be in 5th grade, you'd be 10 years old. Oh wait, well of course, that's why they made Ash 10 years old, to cater to that age group. I don't know, some things just go right over my head sometimes. Anyways, so yeah, that's probably about how old I was, probably 10, so that means my sister would have been 16? I don't remember. Anyways, but yeah, we were young and silly. No, I was probably 9 and then she was 15. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. Yeah, anyways. Anywho. Yeah, that's just another story. But, anyways, I always find it kind of, funny to just watch a Pokemon, like in any battle really, use Bide, because I don't know, that move is really hard to make good use of, because it's just one of those things where, like, you have to ensure that you will survive 2 turns of damage, because if you, like, because obviously there's ways to ensure surviving 1 turn of damage, like you have like a focus sash or protect, or not protect, because you're busy absorbing energy. I don't know. There's ways of guaranteeing that you will survive 1 turn of damage, but 2 ends up being a little bit risky. That's what I've noticed, anyways. And so, what usually ends up happening is either 1, the enemy will try to just power through Bide and just take him out within those 2 turns. That way, they don't have to just take all of that damage and double. Or they just like use like a lot of like stat changing or status effect moves. That way they're not technically doing any damage, and then Bide ends up failing. And I've always found that move is pretty difficult to use, and really it's kind of sad actually, just watching them just be like, I have to use Bide because that's the only way I can do damage. It's kind of, I don't know, I sometimes kind of feel bad for them. It's like, dude, really, that's like, it's a little bit sad to watch sometimes. Anyways, anyways, so, yeah, gonna be, wrapping up the video kind of soon here, but, essentially, last thing I want to say is kind of, a few, how shall I say, I guess sort of, not grievances, but just like quick, like, notes about, I guess production, just kind of like, for those of you that don't make YouTube videos and just kind of like, just watch and that's really it, and maybe like for those of you that maybe, are critical of YouTubers that like take forever to release videos. They're just like, dude, why can't you just release one every week? It's not that hard. Well, you have to understand that sometimes it kind of is that hard, because they probably, like you, have lives outside of the internet, and so you kind of have to realize, hey, they probably have other things to do, they probably get busy, and on top of that, they probably, well, sometimes anyways, probably find it a little bit difficult to find good times to record, because if they're the kind of people that live with their family, or like near like other people, like there's other people in the house most of the time, then it can be difficult to find good times to record where everyone just shuts up and lets you record. But anyways, that's gonna wrap up this video. Sorry to end it off on a slightly sour note, but it's just supposed to be a quick, hey, heads up. Anyways, I'll catch you in the next video, and I'll see you guys later. Well, not see you, but, you know, take care, everyone.